And this video is a review of Yoko Ono at Tate Modern. You can see a famous cut piece there where people could hack bits of her clothes off with scissors. This is a really kind of cool thing where you get to draw around your shadow until it builds up thousands and thousands of drawn shadows. You whack nails into a wall, destroying that gallery peace and quiet. And this rather funky white chess set. Both sides are white, which makes for an interesting game. And you've also got all sorts of kind of crazy things like 200 waggling bottoms, and the last room, which is pretty interesting, where you've just got white walls and a white boat, and you can just draw your hopes and dreams. So enjoy Tate Modern, Yoko Ono. Hey everybody, Robert Dunt, ArtTop10.com, and today we're off to see Yoko Ono, Music of the Mind, 7 decades of Yoko Ono work, and we are heading over this Millennium Bridge to Tate Modern in the background. And this bridge is known as the Wobbly Bridge because when it first opened it kept wobbling around. Anyway, let's go and see Yoko Ono. So here we are, Yoko Ono, Music of the Mind. Let's go inside and see what happens in this kind of exciting looking exhibition. Okay everybody, so here we are inside Yoko Ono, Music of the Mind, Tate Modern. This is one of the first rooms. Loads of stuff here you can't film, but you can film most of the stuff in this first room. It's quite interesting, actually. Spent most of her childhood in Tokyo and Japan. Studied classical music, learned how to translate everyday sounds into musical notation. During the Second World War, she was evacuated to the countryside, where she would lie on her back, looking at the sky and escaping into her imagination. Following the end of the war, she returned to Tokyo, later attending Gakushuin University as its first female philosophy student. Interestingly enough, she developed some of her earliest instructions, that must be what they're calling some of her artwork things, such as lighting piece, light a match and watch till it goes out, which I assume the light a match and watch till it goes out is that film over there where you can see, is that a match or a cigarette? I can't tell. Oh yeah, it's a match, it's a match. So I guess that's some of her kind of conceptual art from the off. There's also, what are those, all these like little things? Oh yeah, light a match and watch till it goes out. There's a little title over there, and there's sort of things outside in the corridor, like, oh, the time in this room goes very slowly. And over here you got pictures of the piano. Not entirely sure why. Can't really tell what she's doing with the piano. She seems to be lighting a cigarette. Is she lighting a cigarette? Lighting. What is it? What does it say? This performance show, okay, lighting piece during your event-based program. Kind of hard to work out what she's actually doing, but she appears to be lighting a cigarette, and I guess that is why it's called a lighting piece. I wanted most things to be performed in the dark. They're asking the audience to stretch their imaginations. Anyway, okay, so that's a little glimpse around room 1. Let's keep on strolling. Okay, this is the second room. This stuff is like Yoko Ono instructions for painting. This is what it's called. Each text and instruction for an artwork to be realized, whether in real life or in your mind. She couldn't get a Japanese typewriter, so her husband actually wrote them out rather beautifully, and all that little writing. So you've got things like painting to be constructed in your head, hammer and nail in the center of a piece of glass. Imagine sending the cracked portions to addresses chosen arbitrarily. Remember the addresses and the shapes of the cracked portions sent. Well, this one's weird. A portrait of Mary. Send a canvas to a Mary of any country and have her paste her photograph. Have her send the canvas to the next Mary of any country to do the same. When the canvas is filled up with photographs of Marys, it should be sent back to the original sender. The name does not have to be Mary. It also can be a fictional name, in which case the canvas will be sent to different countries until a person with such name will be found. The object to paste on the canvas does not have to be a photograph. It can be a numerical figure, an insect, or a fingerprint. It gets more and more complicated. Absolutely masses of people thronging around this press view today for Ono Yoko. Anyway, everything also. So I hadn't realised really that in 1962 this is, and she already seems to be quite famous, doing quite a lot of work already. All sorts of. She seems to be already collaborating with people like John Cage, you know, sort of musician. So it seems to be quite well known already, and everything seems to be black and white, frankly, which makes it look very, very harmonious in a very polite fashion. Anyway, intriguing. Oh, and there's something cool over here on the floor. This bit here is quite fun. A work to be stepped on. Quite whether you're going to tread on the paper as well, I don't know. So, anyway, that's down there, and we have just trodden on it. Excellento. Right, let's keep going. In 56, aged 23, she moved to New York City, eloping with Japanese composer and pianist Toshi Ishiyangi. And in 61, she had her first solo exhibition at AG Gallery in Manhattan, painting and drawings by Yoko Ono, including more than 15 instruction paintings like the ones we were just looking at. So she was on the move pretty quickly, frankly. Room 3. This is the famous thing where she sat around and people chopped off bits of her clothing with a pair of scissors that was lying around. Kind of obviously quite iconic piece. Slightly bizarre in all honesty. Man, this guy's really chopping everything off he can possibly find. He's going for it. He's still got other pieces in here. Got these black bits of clothing, white bit of floor, some chairs over there in the corner. The chopping is still going on in the background that everybody's watching. It's quite a strange thing because he looks like he's laughing and she looks kind of almost laughing as well. Huh. That's chopped pretty much as far as you can go. You seem to chop everything. There's another one coming up to chop some more stuff now. Oh, that one's just going to chop a little bit of something by her waist. Anyway, so you got these big black things hanging around here. What are they? Oh, that's where that ends. Bag piece. One or more performers remove their short shoes, enter a black bag on stage and carry out various activities while inside. You know, such as removing your clothes or taking a nap. So all these, I suppose those are the people actually performing these black bag things. Quite intriguing. By this point, she'd actually married somebody else. So she'd travelled to Tokyo in 1962, stayed 2 years, and then I think about 1964 she married US filmmaker Anthony Cox. He helped produce and promote her activities in Tokyo, New York and London. Not entirely sure what the chairs are about. And there's a script here for a striptease show, I'm not sure. The following script consists of a series of events that are performed in Kyoto 1964, Tokyo, Carnegie Hall and Wayland University. So I'm obsessed to find out what the chairs are about.
You end up leaving for these shoes.
Striptease for 3. Exhibition realisation, 3 wooden chairs. Oh, you can see 3 different chairs in the photo here. Don't quite get what was meant to happen with that striptease show yet. The striptease show featured cut piece, which is the video where people are chopping the clothes off her, you can see down the end. Featured bag piece, where you'd get in those bags. And striptease for 3. To strip, she explains, means not to reveal to others, but to discover something hidden in humans and a stripping of the mind. The idea of exploring oneself united many of the pieces Ono presented at her Japanese concerts. Okay, this is kind of a little funky bit in this room 4 shadow piece. Put your shadows together until they become one. So basically, the person stands there and you draw around their shadow, as I'm going to attempt to do now. Around my wife's shadow. Here we go. Let's draw around the shadow. Around the hand that's holding the list of stuff I'm not allowed to film. Try and get to the other side of the shadow without being in the shadow myself. There we go. Let's go down this side of the shadow. Get the hand. Okay. There we go. Done. We are drawn around and the shadow. Where is the shadow? You can hardly see it. You can just see all the different shadows that are grouped up with each other, which is quite cool. Look at that. You've got a nice little sort of weird wiggly markings in there. That's actually really cool. Oh, they've got a nice hand over here. Man, I wonder what that is going to look like in about a month. Actually quite cool. Quite like that. It's quite funky and clever and pretty. Now Mrs. D in drawing around me, I've put a big hand out. Yeah, it makes it more fun. Yeah, there you got to stand up there. I'm not moving, not moving. I'm staying. It's quite hard to draw around the shadow because you're obviously your own shadow goes in front of the shadow. Everybody, I love a shadow piece. Charms the name YO. Incidentally, if you don't know the song Oh No Yoko by the Jesus Mary Chain, you need to listen to that. It's probably the best piece of music about Yoko ever. On the album Damage and Joy, I think the reissue, you can find it. Basically just goes, oh no Yoko, oh no, no, no Yoko. But you should definitely listen to that. Right, there we go. Oh, I'm moving away. Let's move away. You can see my big fingers. See my big fingers on somebody's brain. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Nice. Okay. There we go. Bit of Yoko Ono fun, everybody. Yeah, so this is room 4, I think, where we were just messing around drawing pictures of ourselves in the shadows, which was quite good fun, called Grapefruit. Grapefruit's a recurring motif for Ono. I named my first book of instructions with the name of the fruit I loved, because she sees it's a hybrid between an orange and a lemon. To her, it represents East and West, the two cultures of my life. The fruit reflects her identity as a spiritual hybrid, never feeling at home either in Japan or the US. She kept on doing her instructions, which could be completed by anybody, some physically, some only in the mind. And she would also presented her conceptual works for sale. And likewise, is offering a playful critique of the commercial art world. She probably needed to make some money. But she also do things like mail order catalogues, but she also sold shards of broken glass, which were labelled with future dates. And you can see like these broken glass bits down here labelled with future dates. So these are like the sort of things she would sell. Quite intriguing, quite fun. Little bits of broken glass. It was very much kind of, early, I don't know, but it's very performance arty stuff, isn't it, basically? Anyway, entertaining and fun. Let's roll on to the next room. So you got this crazy piece where you can hammer nails into a board. I remember when I was at art school and I was hammering nails into a board, irritating everybody in the studio. One of the tutors, Tate Modern, said that, there was a Yoko Ono piece where you'd hammer nails into a board and that caused disquiet in the art galleries. Here we go, bit of hammering taking place. Nice.
Do you like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have a go. Let's go for it. Oh man, that's loads. If it gets completely full, is it replaced? Or I mean, say in like 2 months or something when it's just.
It gets completely full so that every little space is full.
Yeah.
And then they'll swap it over.
And then they do. Yeah, I wonder.
And then I think Yoko Ono's studio has a first pick of the favourite.
Oh, I see. So there's like 15, and then they exhibit them as works. Nice. Okay. Very cool. Right. Let's go for it. Cool, there we go. Done. Sorry. Me destroying the rest of it in the process. Okay, cool. Okay, so that was a bit of fun hammering in the thing. Nice. So this is room 5, I think, where we were just hammering the nail. And this is bringing together works and performances made in England between 66 and 71. And this is where this is when she met John Lennon, wasn't it? Basically. She was invited to take part in the Destruction Art Symposium in London. So we've got loads more like videos of different pieces she made. Got people hammering those nails in, man. Quite cool, the nail thing. Got pictures of her being wrapped up in something here. Moving on. Oh, so there's other things then being wrapped. You've got lots of white stuff in here. Got a bottom moving. You got a little ladder. Got people playing chess. I'm quite sure about the chess. I guess they're just playing chess. Absolutely certain this ladder is something that John Lennon saw when he walked up the ladder. I remember a story. You walk up the ladder, look at the top, and it says you're an idiot for climbing up the ladder. That's what I thought. I thought that's how he met her. It goes on quite a long way around that room. Okay, let's have a little look at some more of these bits and bobs. And then she did like collaborative things with John Lennon, like War Is Over. Oh yeah, Happy Christmas from John and Yoko. So she did collaborative pieces with John Lennon, which undoubtedly made you more famous in the process, I should think. Got these chess sets here. Don't know what. Are these just to play chess, or is it meant? What is the chess set point? Quite nice. Oh, I suppose they're all white. They're white. They're all white pieces, aren't they? I hadn't realised. So you haven't got black and white in the board, so you can't quite tell. I guess as the game progresses, you can't tell whose pieces are whose. So it's a slightly insane game. Unless you just remember whose piece is whose as you keep playing. Actually quite a clever idea. Quite a funny idea that you've just got one colour. And so you don't really know who wins, I suppose.
There it says.
Oh yeah.
For playing as long as you
can remember where all your pieces are. Yeah, that's the name. For playing as long as you remember where your pieces are. Quite funny, but yeah, I guess a criticism of having two sides in any scenario. So the thing we were just looking at here, the War Is Over billboard that was distributed in 12 cities around the world through billboards, posters, postcards, and radio and newspaper adverts, using mass media to quickly spread and amplify their message. Intriguing. So this is John Lennon and Yoko planting acorns for peace, which they did. They seemed to start off doing that in Coventry Cathedral. They planted acorns, one person facing east and one facing west, to symbolise unity across the world. And then following their wedding, they sent 96 acorns to world leaders, asking each recipient to plant their own acorn for peace. Some guy interviewing John Lennon, rather. Got more things down here you can see, like album covers and things. A wedding album. Check it out, everybody. Look at it. Pressview Megamania today. Look at all these people swarming in for the chit-chat that's taking place. The curator tour. Oh, here we go. It's quite loud as well. And you've got more of the Bund butt cheeks crawling around over there. She's got to compete with the hammering, which is quite fun. I also just realised from the curator talk, they're saying the ladder is like a flight or freedom motif in a work. And then at the top, and this, like I said before, it was where John Lennon met her, but when you climb up through the magnifying glass, you can see the word yes at the top of this ladder, basically. might be wrong, but I think this was a John Lennon and Yoko Ono collaboration, Air Bottles. I guess one of their first collaborations. So what does it say? Half a painting, half a live, half a letter. But you got to say, it's sort of, got a bit of a Damien Hirst vibe. Or even that pottery bloke. Intriguing. You can see that Damien Hirst could have easily grabbed that and just shifted it a bit to go where he did. And I think this is another, Yoko Ono, half a room. Comprises domestic furniture and objects such as a high-heeled shoe and bookshelf. Oh, cut in half. Oh, that's quite cool. So all these things are chopped in half, like the chair, all the shoes. Well, funky like that. Everything is still basically black or white in this exhibition. Completely mad. Gives it a consistency, whatever happens, doesn't it? Still got the weird walking bottom piece here. I don't know what it actually says about the walking bottom piece, although there seem to be different bottoms involved in the piece. But let's go and see what it says about it.
And it includes footage of 200 buttocks, including of a husband, former husband, Dunt and Fox.
All right. Okay, so footage of 200 buttocks. Participants include John and Barbara Latham, George Andrews, Ella Walton, sculptor David Annesley. The audio includes conversation between the participants, Ono and her husband, Anthony Cox. At times, the recordings are deliberately out of sync with the images, mixed with Ono's interviews with the British press. Ono's film school for the work instructed string bottoms together in place of signatures for petition for peace. Okay, so this is the room Fly, and this is Ono's 24-minute film Fly. There's also a 1-minute film called Freedom. Around about this time, Ono and Lennon settled in New York at the start of the 70s. Collaborated on projects both Fly and Freedom. Fly is based on Ono's 68 film score, Fly, film number 13, which reads, "Let a fly walk on a woman's body from toe to head and fly out of the window." Features actress Virginia Lust. Real flies supplied by New York City. And there's a guitar by John Lennon. Anyway, this is Fly. I don't know if that was meant to be the fly chatting to itself as it moves around, possibly. That sounds a bit like a fly, doesn't it? But also a bit like somebody freaking out. Anyway, there's the fly again. It's back. Slightly bizarre. Freedom is a 1-minute film. That's in the ear about Yoko Ono trying to break out of her bra. On we go. So this one seems to be called A Hole. Go to the other side of the glass and see through the hole. Ow! So let's go around and see through the hole. I don't know what difference it makes, but it's quite entertaining to see through the hole. But I don't really see much through the hole. Can't tell if it actually looks any different either side, and that's probably me setting off the alarm. Does it look any different either side? No, it looks basically the same. I wonder what it says on the other side to say the same thing. Oh no, you can't see it. This is when you've gone around the other side. Anyway, it is kind of entertaining, isn't it? Normally I get irritated by the art when it's kind of entertaining, but it's actually quite good, all these things, I think. Right, let's gallop on through. These are more bullet hole. Oh yeah.
Steel frame with the whole
Shot with a bullet hole. Anyway, it does seem to be a bullet hole, basically. A piece of the sky. Take a piece of the sky and know that we're all part of each other. Oh, these are like war helmets filled with what looks like jigsaws, I'd say. What does it say on the jigsaw? YO London 24, YO London 24. Maybe it's always got the date related to it. Icon invites you to take a piece of the sky, which it sees as a hopeful symbol of limitless imagination. The pieces are presented in German army helmets from the Second World War, referencing the violent fragmenting of hope through war. Puzzle pieces are still designed to come together and reform the sky. You're meant to be picking them up. I can't quite tell. I haven't seen anybody else picking them up, but I can't tell if you're meant to pick them out. Oh, you are meant to pick them out.
Yeah.
So we're meant to pick these up, are we? Cool. Did you take them home? Take it home? Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Right, so we are meant to pick up the jigsaw bit. I don't like that jigsaw bit. I want a better jigsaw bit. There we go. There's my jigsaw bit. Cool. Quite pleased with my jigsaw bit. Probably going to find that jigsaw bit on sale at an art fair. Might see. There we go. There's my jigsaw bit. Okay, so this one's quite cool. This begins as an all-white boat in an all-white room. And then you've got a few big felt tip markers. Ono's instruction for this collective participatory work reads, just blue like the ocean. Invited to contribute your hopes and beliefs in blue and white. Quite funky. Yeah. You got loads of like Free Palestine, love all beings, all sorts of things. I'm going to put a distortion form on the boat. Let's go and get a pen. Let's get dark blue, light blue. Put it edge of the boat. Right. Where shall I put my distortion form? Fancy putting it over there. It's completely white when it begins. When it begins, it's just white. When it begins, it's white. The whole room's white when it starts.
Who's done all these?
All the people here.
Today?
Yeah. So they've already done these things just today. It's a really nice white boat to paint, isn't it? Cool. Nice. So this presumably is just done today. What's done already is the place only began today. But yeah, nice. There's quite a lot of stuff in here already, basically. This is Diego Herbert over in the corner. There we go. Nice heart. This is my little Jesus and Mary Chain plays with Ono Yoko. We'll go back and film it in a minute now. Mary Chain fans. Ono Yoko. JMC. There we go, bit of jigsaw. Will be worth millions in the future. Okay, crew, so that's the end of it. Really excellent exhibition, actually. Sometimes I get irritated and fed up with sort of things that's for kids or entertaining, and it sort of is a bit like that, but it's also kind of serious, and the whole peace thing does come across to you, especially when you get in the last room and there's a lot of peace stuff written on that boat. But I don't know, I actually find it quite inspiring. A lot of stuff you come and see isn't inspiring, but I have inspired to... sometimes it's irritating. Is there any point making... I mean, there is a point in making paintings which subtly affect people. Stuff like this is far more dramatic. But that's not wrong in a bad any way. I think it is, it's effective and it moves people and communicates to people, which is all good, really, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's a really good exhibition and very much worth coming to. So yeah. come along and make the most of it. As ever, like and subscribe to arttop10.com for more interviews with artists and reviews of art exhibitions. Auf Wiedersehen, Herr Darfes. Bye bye.